Okay, well, welcome back to Garage Built Strongman, the decidedly worst strongman channel on YouTube. It's terrible. Most of the time, I'm pretty boring. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, today is a shoulder overhead workout, dabbling in some rehab and stuff like that. It's a fairly long workout, actually. It is and it isn't. There's lots to do, but there's not a stupid amount of volume. Um, so the first thing we're going to work on is we're going to do some circus dumbbell. And then I've got some overhead pressing, some landmine presses. A lot of stuff's going to be lighter work because still rehabbing the right tricep, and I don't want to do any damage. So each week I'm progressing by 5, sometimes 10 pounds, depending on what it is. So just for instance, a couple of weeks ago, messing with the circus dumbbell, no problem on the right hand. Right hand is very strong. It is my most coordinated hand, and I don't have problems with it. I can do this all day long. Um, Feels fine. The trouble becomes using the left hand. Now, first off, my left hand was never as good as the right hand, and that's normal for a lot of people. But what happens is, so when you rack the dumbbell, it's up in this fashion. Okay, so for instance, now I'm holding it like this. I can definitely feel the back of the tricep here. Now, I haven't done this, but when I did this, I haven't done this recently, but when I did this a couple of weeks ago, I brought it up and in this rack position here. Now, I can tell you right now, it doesn't hurt like it did that day. But now the press, I can feel my arms twitching right now. That's probably due to inactivity. I haven't pushed it. I won't be doing circus dumbbell with my left hand. There's just no point. So anyway, so we're just going to work the right side for the circus dumbbell. That's my strong side if I compete. And there's an event with circus dumbbell, it will be the right side, whether it be for reps or for weight, which I do well in both. But for today, we're going to do the first 3 sets are 2 to 3 reps at 110-ish. And then I'm going to move to singles, just progressively get heavier. And then we're going to move on to landmine presses. But for now, we're going to do some circus dumbbell presses. A couple more warm-ups here. Not too bad. I don't even have chalk or anything on. It's good. It's good. I'm going to add, so the circus dumbbell is 70 pounds. We're going to start with 20 pounds and do a couple at 20 or at 90, I guess. And then we'll add 20 more pounds. That'll be our starting for working weight. Go from there. All right, last one. This is 140. Again, shouldn't be an issue. We just want to be able to do it clean and buttery. See ya. It's good. Happy with that. Let's move on. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. This is going to feel a little sad. So this is landmine presses. So I have one of my landmines mounted to the wall there. And the way this is set up, I feel like I'm actually getting a more realistic weight. And I'd like the angle better versus it being on the floor and you're just pushing this way. But this works very well. Now, the sad part is I got a whopping 20 pounds. The bar itself is just my axle bar I thought I'd use. It's a little shorter. Again, I think it adds more, makes the weight more effective. However, it's only 20 pounds. Right arm, no problem. At peak, I was hitting, I was doing 90 pounds per arm for sets of 8 to 10. The first week that I tried this, I put a 25-pound plate on, thinking I'm giving myself room. And about 4 reps in, it really started to burn and hurt. So we backed it on down to where I was comfortable, and I've added, the first week I did 10 pounds, the second week I did 15, and today we're up to 20. I have 3 sets of 12 to do. I am not going to film all 3 because it is the same weight, not changing the weight. I just want reps and blood flow. So, and I want to try and keep my arm in this fashion. I want to keep the tension on my tricep. And also, so hard to see from the angle I've got you on, there's 2 ways to press it. I'm pressing in front of the front delt like this, not off to the side. So it's focusing on the front delt a little bit more, but ultimately the way I'm doing it in this fashion, I'm putting more load on the tricep. It works well. All right, so I got to do 2 more sets of these, and then we'll move on, so I'm not boring you to death. All right, so now we're going to do some overhead pressing. It's another sad press. It is 105. However, I'm doing it strict. I'm trying to stick strict with everything. Push press is easier, obviously, but before I got into strongman, all my workouts in the gym were all strict press. I never used the push press. But again, we're working on building that strength and the trust back up in my tricep. So this is 3 sets of 12 again. So again, pretty simple. I'm going to film the first one, and then well, you can imagine the rest. So again, I added 5 pounds to last week, and that's basically the way I'm going to go for the next 2-3 weeks until I've got that trust and strength built up. Keep the weights lighter, but keep the blood flow going. So as I said, I got 2 more sets of this, and then we're going to move on. Simple one next, just some dumbbell presses. So we're breaking out the 35-pound tetanus dumbbells. Sets of 12. Look at that. You got rust dust. Okay, I have 3 sets of those to do, and then I'm going to move to the next exercise, obviously, but it's not one that's on the program. It's one that I picked up when I was having trouble with my shoulders. And I'll show you that one in a minute. So let me do a couple more sets of this and we'll get to that exercise next. Okay, this next one, it's got different names, but ultimately we've been calling it the Cuban press, which is actually one of the names you can find. Very simple shoulder mobility strengthening exercise. Nobody likes to hear that your shoulders are weak or any muscle group's weak, but we focus so much on the heavy lifts that we forget about the small muscles. This one will help the small muscles. So it's a very simple movement, but it's very effective. I'm only using fives. You don't really need heavy weight for this because uh, as you progress, maybe. So pretty simple. And I'm going to use very deliberate movements. So up, up, out. And that's one rep. Pretty sure I lost count there. Okay, so that's one of the things that I've continued to add in. It's not in my workout program, but I like it. It's good for the shoulders. What is in my program is a simple hold. There's different ways to do this, but basically, I'm going to use the same plates, 5-pound plates, 10 or 15 seconds. You can do it straight out in front of you, or you can do it in a T fashion. I simply really enjoy these ones. I do recommend you try it if you have any shoulder mobility exercise. I got 2 more sets to do. So then we can move on. All right, pretty standard here. Simple bent arm lateral raises. 3 sets of 12. As a 15, one thing I like to do is make sure that I'm not relaxing at any point. So when I get down here, I'm trying to stop the downward motion before the tension comes off the muscle. It's more of a bodybuilding thing, but it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna do some tricep push downs. So we got 3 sets of 12. Now, again, not in my workout, but I've added in the same 3 sets of 12 for push-ups. I'm using these 4x4s so I can get just a little deeper stretch now. It all depends on how you do them. If you do them wide, it's not really good. It's not great for your shoulders, or so I'm told. I don't know. I never really did really wide push-ups. So I use the blocks because you get a little bit deeper stretch and you get a little lower. Again, not on the program, but I've been adding these in to help build up that tricep strength. And the combination really pushes the triceps, and a little bit of the chest. Push-ups are great for your chest. And again, you can change it up to change how it works. But this is the way I do it. So I got 2 more sets. 2 more sets. All right. Triceps are pretty thoroughly burnt out. We're down to the wire here. Last 2 exercises I'm going to do are bicep exercises, and nothing specific, just single arm biceps. I do prefer the crossbody hammer curls. Um, they work great. I do you know regular bicep curls. I don't really bother with sitting down and doing concentration curls. Um, so I think today I'm going to do the 3 sets of 12 with the crossbody hammer curls. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the straight bar in the rack here. It's my gym. I'll curl in the rack if I want. And just do some simple, just straight up curls. There's a name for them. I don't remember what it is. It's just a bit of a different motion as opposed to a lever type curl. This you're coming up. It works it differently. Other days I will do a regular lever curl. Sometimes change the weight. Sometimes change the tempo of the curl. It's pretty open here. I actually only have one workout that's on my program, which is single arm bicep curls. But I'll like to add the variation because as long as I'm getting stronger, I would like to build a little bit more muscle, make my arms a little bigger, shoulders and stuff like that. Now, some people may notice in my workout that there is nothing for rear delts or traps. That is because Thursday's workout is some sandbag work, and so with sandbags, you're you're basically a big heavy row. And I also did rows on Monday with my deadlifting. So to add it in again today is kind of pointless. So later on in the week, I'm going to be doing some rear delt work through the sandbag. And then on Saturday, there is actually barbell shrugs worked in. But I'm going to go do my bicep curls and barbell work, and I'm going to call it there. I just wanted to run you guys through the workout slash rehab that I'm doing, some of the extra stuff I've added in. It's been a long workout. I'm into almost 2.5 hours today, setup time and everything like that. Trying not to talk too much because I know nobody really wants to listen to anybody talk. Maybe you just want to see how I'm coping with the injury and moving forward, trying to get back up to where I was. I have 2 months, which sounds like a lot of time, but it's not because I have 2 months to get back to where I was and possibly beyond. That is tough to do. Knowing my other competitors, they're already, on top of their game. So I don't have time to piss around. Anyway, guys, I hope you thought the video was interesting and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back for more and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot for joining.